Have you ever wondered if money truly is the root of all evil? This phrase has been tossed around in conversations, debates, and philosophical discussions, often leading to a rather negative view of money. However, there seems to be a common misunderstanding surrounding this phrase. It's not money itself that's being dubbed as inherently evil, but rather, it's the love of money that's being scrutinized. Let's take a closer look at the source of this well-known phrase. It's from the Bible, specifically 1 Timothy 6:10. The verse reads, "For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." Notice that it's not money itself that's being called out as evil, but the love of it, the obsession, the insatiable desire for more. This verse is often misinterpreted, leading many to think that money, in its very essence, is evil. But let's consider the metaphor used in the verse, the root. Just like in a plant, the root is the starting point, the origin from which everything else grows. In the context of this verse, it implies that the beginning or first reason for any evil being done is because of a desire for money. However, desiring money isn't inherently bad. It's when the acquisition of it involves immoral acts like fraud or stealing that it becomes problematic. Essentially, it's not the money that's evil, but the means and motives behind getting it. Pierce themselves through with many sorrows, the verse continues. This part of the verse underscores the consequences of misplaced love for money. It illustrates the emptiness and sorrow that often accompany the relentless pursuit of wealth. Now let's delve deeper into this verse and uncover its true meaning. The next scenes will further unravel the misunderstanding, dissect the phrase, and explore the consequences of misplaced love and the importance of relationships. So stick around, there's much more to learn and understand. The phrase, "for the love of money is the root of all evil," is more than it seems. If we break it down, we can see that the term, the root, is used metaphorically. Just like in plants, where everything begins at the root in this context signifies the start or beginning. Now let's think about money. Money itself is not inherently evil. It's a tool, a resource, a means to an end. It's how we use it, and more importantly how we perceive it, that can lead to undesirable outcomes. The verse doesn't condemn money itself, but points to the love of money as the root of evil. It's important to remember that the love of money is not the same as needing money for survival, or wanting money to improve one's quality of life. It's about an unhealthy obsession, an insatiable desire for wealth that can lead people astray. This desire, when it becomes the driving force behind our actions, can lead to harmful behaviors like fraud, stealing, and deception. In other words, it's not the money itself that's the problem. It's the excessive love for it, the greed, the lust for wealth that can lead to evil actions. It's the idea that money can be pursued at all costs, even if it means compromising our values, ethics, and integrity. So when we say, "For the love of money is the root of all evil," we're not saying that money itself is evil. We're saying that it's the love for it, the obsession with it, the relentless pursuit of it that can lead to evil actions. It's the way in which we acquire it, through honest means or dishonest ones, that determines whether it becomes a force for good or a source of evil in our lives. So, it's not about the money itself, it's about the love for it and how it is acquired. It's about understanding that money, like any other resource, can be used for good or ill, depending on our intentions, our actions, and our values. Let's look at the phrase, "They have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows." Now you may have heard the saying that money doesn't buy happiness, and it's true. There are innumerable stories of millionaires, seemingly having it all, yet succumbing to their sorrows. Why is that? Because, as the saying goes, all that glitters is not gold. The things we see, touch, and experience here on Earth are temporary. The shiny sports car that costs thousands of dollars, the sprawling mansion, the designer clothes, they all eventually return to the earth. Yet, our souls continue their journey into eternity. As said in the Bible, things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So what is eternal? Love, kindness, faith, hope. These are things you can't buy with money. These are the things that truly matter, the things that bring us real, lasting happiness. But when we place our love in the wrong place, when we covet money above all else, we lose sight of these eternal things. We become so engrossed in acquiring wealth that we forget about the real treasures in life. We err from the faith and find ourselves pierced with many sorrows. Now this doesn't mean that money is inherently bad or that wanting to be financially secure is wrong. Money can be a tool, a means to an end. It can provide for our needs, help us support our loved ones, and allow us to give to those in need. But when we start to love money more than these things, when we start to see it as the end rather than the means, that's when we invite sorrow into our lives. That's when we start to lose sight of what's truly important. So the sorrow comes not from having money, but from the misplaced love for it. When we love money more than we love people, more than we love our faith, more than we love the unseen but eternal things, we find ourselves on a path to sorrow. After all, as the Bible says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." Earthly possessions mean nothing without love and relationships. Our journey through life is not meant to be a solo venture. It's a shared experience, a tapestry woven with threads of human bonds, friendships, and connections. These relationships enrich our lives in ways that material wealth never can. Consider for a moment the joy of acquiring a new possession, be it a shiny car or a sprawling mansion. Now imagine the emptiness of enjoying these things all by yourself, with no one to share your joy, your achievements. It's like sitting in a room full of gold, yet feeling hollow inside. This is the void that money can't fill. In contrast, the warmth of a shared laugh, the comfort of a shoulder to lean on, the joy of shared experiences. These are the riches that truly matter. They are the ones that fill our hearts with joy, our lives with meaning. This is the essence of the phrase, "A man that hath friends must show himself friendly." It speaks of the importance of cultivating genuine relationships, of being a friend to have friends. However, it's important to note that friendships built on the foundation of money or materialistic gains are not true friendships. They are fleeting, superficial, and hollow, just like the material possessions they are based on. Such relationships are akin to building castles on sand. They crumble at the slightest hint of trouble. Moreover, attempting to buy friendships or popularity with money often leads to sorrow and loneliness. It's like stepping into a trap of your own making. True friendships are built on trust, respect, and mutual affection, not on the amount of money one has in their bank account. In conclusion, it's important to remember that true happiness and fulfillment come from relationships, not possessions. The joy and contentment derived from genuine relationships are priceless, and no amount of money can buy that. So let's focus on cultivating these relationships, these bonds that truly enrich our lives. After all, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. True happiness comes from relationships, not possessions. Let's take a step back and look at what we've learned. The phrase, "money is the root of all evil," is often misunderstood. The truth, as we've discovered, is not that money itself is evil. Rather, it's the love for it, especially when it leads to harmful actions such as fraud or theft. That is the root of all evil. It's about the intention behind our pursuit of wealth and how we choose to use it. We learned that the root, the beginning or the core, is the key. Just like in a plant where everything starts from the root, the initial intention or desire for money can lead to good or evil. It's not the money itself that's the problem, but the manner in which we acquire it and the way we let it influence our actions and decisions. We also discovered that the verse warns us about the sorrows that come with the misuse of money. It's a stark reminder that wealth does not equate to happiness. Stories of millionaires grappling with despair are not uncommon. Earthly possessions, as tempting as they might be, are fleeting. They are bound to return to the earth, just like our bodies will, but our souls, our essence, will continue into eternity. The importance of relationships also came to the forefront. Accumulating wealth becomes meaningless if we don't have loved ones to share it with. It can leave us feeling empty and void. True wealth comes from friendships, from love, from kindness. A man that shows himself friendly, as the Bible says, will find many friends. God intended for us to live happily, to enjoy life to the fullest. We must remember that while wealth is not inherently evil, it's the love for it, especially when it leads us to break moral and ethical boundaries, that causes harm. Remember, it's not money that's the root of all evil, it's the love for it used in the wrong way. For more insights, visit us at jehovahsaint.com.